Thanks to the organizers for inviting me here. It's both an honor and a pleasure to be in this place and to give a talk today. And also, of course, thanks to you for being here. All right, so the topic of my talk was already mentioned. It's about learning from imprecise and fuzzy data. And in particular, I would like to introduce you a little bit to this idea of what I call data disambiguation. And probably this is something that most of you didn't hear about so far. So in machine learning, the core idea essentially is to somehow go from particular observations that we have made in a certain domain to a general model via a process that we typically call model induction. And that model, at least in a supervised learning setting, is typically used for prediction purposes, so to predict new observations, new outcomes in new situations that we haven't seen so far, but of course can also be used for different purposes. And what you can also see from this figure here is that in this model induction process, of course, there is more involved than just the data and the model that comes out. We need background knowledge, we need an induction principle, etc. This is all important, but not for the time being here. The essential idea is to somehow generalize particular observations, the data, into a generally valid, hopefully generally valid model. So this is the main aim, the key idea. Now, if people speak about fuzzy machine learning, somehow a merger of fuzzy logic and machine learning, what they typically have in mind is to induce what they call fuzzy models from standard data, that is from crisp data, from non-fuzzy data. So for example, we have seen data here, standard data, normal numerical data, and from this data we induce model expressed in the form of a fuzzy rule base. So for example, if the first variable is high and the second input is low, then the outcome is class 0, something like this. So the data is crisp, the models are fuzzy. But recently, what has also attracted more and more attention is what is called learning from fuzzy data. And what is that about? So learning from fuzzy data, the idea is as follows. We start from a, say, standard relational data table like this. This is the most simplest case. I will stick to it during the whole presentation, where we may have some input attributes, x1 to x4, and we also have an output here, y. This might be a regression problem or whatever. And now the idea is that some of these data points here